Hello there, people of the internet. So I am unboxing some Cavalry Carcanos that I got from Royal Tiger Imports, and what they are is they're an import company here in the state of Florida, and they bring firearms and accessories and military surplus in from all over the world, and we have some very interesting stuff that has come in. And these right here are Cavalry carbines that are currently being sold on the market. They're not overly expensive. And one of the things that people don't like about these is the fact that the 6.5 Carcano round that they shoot is expensive and hard to find, but I'm a reloader, so I have absolutely no problems getting my hands on this ammunition and keeping these rifles running for any length of time. I already unboxed these two right here. I do have a third one to go ahead and check out, so if you want more information on those, go ahead and check out the other videos. I have in my possession this right here. Each one of these rifles came with a little pack like this. It has a pen, a flag, and a sticker inside of it. So if you want yourself a little pouch like this, it comes with your rifle. So these right here have already been opened because the gun store has to get inside of them to get the serial number information and just the information off of the rifle in general. So as a result, this right here is technically not a true unboxing. This is me checking them out. But these right here have already been, they already went inside of them and checked them out. But that being said, the bubble wrap and whatnot that is in here, these rifles were actually very, very well packed. But whenever they were put inside of the box, the packaging on them is subpar. So do not take what you're about to see, do not base what you're about to see off of the actual packaging of the rifle. They were actually very, very well packed. So this right here is me unboxing them and checking them out. And this right here is going to be another Cavalry carbine, exactly what we have seen so far. Let's pull this bad boy out and let's go ahead and just get this out of the way. Let's toss that right there for safekeeping. Okay, so we got ourselves another Cavalry carbine. And this one right here appears to be in significantly rougher shape than the other ones. And that's just what you get whenever it comes to buying military surplus like this. You never know what you're going to get. It's just complete luck of the draw. So this one here, it looks like we have ourselves a lever style of very interesting. Looks like we have ourselves a lever style of a bayonet retention system here. And that should go down to there and pull out this way and lift up like this and then back into place like that and then tension it down like that. And that right there should hold our bayonet in place. And that seems to hold it pretty tightly. Let's go ahead and bring this back down around there, and let's see how tightly it holds there. Oh, wow. That's actually a pretty snug fit. That's pretty cool. Our nose cap, we are missing a screw on this particular model. This right here, the nose cap should be pushed down, and we're supposed to have a screw in place right there. And that screw is not currently there. I might double check the box, see if maybe it just came out, it was stripped, and sitting in the box somewhere. But these right here were noted to be, incomplete rifles, and there were going to be some missing parts, and this right here might just be one of the missing parts. They're all missing the handguard. There was in the description, so I'm not upset about the missing handguard. And besides that, I see, oh boy, I have no idea why there's so many dings and notches on the stock of this particular Carcano. We do look like we have ourselves quite a bit of the finish on the rifle left. As far as the bluing goes, bluing is a little bit worn out on this particular example. This is a Brescia made, so this right here is one of the more common manufacturers that Carcanos are going to, that you're going to find with these Carcanos. Either Brescia or Tourney. Those are going to be your more common ones. 1918 production, so this right here is a World War I rifle. And it looks like we got a couple of proof marks on our receiver band right there. And I do not see any cartouches or insignias or anything on the stock. Looks like we have the leftover remains of a serial number right there. Let me see if I can figure out what that serial number says. It looks like 1361 maybe. Let's look up here. Nope, that right there does not match the serial number on the rifle. And it looks like there's a few other things up there that I can't quite make out. Those markings right there on the rifle are simply too worn out for me to be able to figure out what those are. It does look like, yep, that right there, that's our sling setup, and those seem to be very much where they need to be. And this right here tells me that this cap right here has been in that position for a long time because I cannot just push it back. So I will have to look into that, potentially get myself a screw if I do not have one already. I do have some spare Carcano parts. Maybe I'll have a screw in stock that I can just go ahead and put into that so I don't have to worry about that nose cap coming off. Let's test the functionality of the rifle. Okay, it's not that bad for a World War I model. It's not that gritty. Okay, well, let's test the trigger. Trigger works. There drops. Assuming that the firing pin is working, this right here should fire. Let's go ahead and test our bore condition. The Carcano is designed for a 2.68 diameter bullet, but this right here is a 2.64 diameter bullet. So this bullet is actually slightly smaller than what we would see with normal Carcano ammunition. That being said, I use 2.64 bullets all the time in my Carcanos, and they work pretty much fine. You don't get a subliminal accuracy from them, but it's far from bad, especially with the types of shooting that I do. So let's test this. Oh yeah, there's plenty of meat left on this Carcano. So despite the fact that this is a World War I model, honestly, I'm quite impressed with just how good the barrel and the bore is on this particular Brescia. Because normally whenever I get, 1918, 1917, 1916, just, old World War I Carcanos, the bore has been worn out pretty substantially. Of course, 1918, that is going to be late war, assuming that it was produced during the war. Let's have a look down the barrel at the rifling. Oh yeah, that rifling is nice and strong. I would show you guys that, but there's no way I'll be able to angle that with our GoPro here. So there we go. We got ourselves 3 Italian Carcano rifles, all from the same importer, and these ones right here, the main reason why I went with these Italian rifles is because Royal Tiger does pull in a lot of surplus from Africa, and African rifles, they're just very worn out. They have seen very hard lives, and a lot of times the barrels have been completely shot out. They're completely inaccurate. A lot of them are not even functional, and they're just very sketchy, to say the least. Versus these right here, which actually came from, Italy itself, and they tend to be in much nicer shape and much more capable. The fact that these are still packed with cosmoline, that tells me that these right here probably have been in some warehouse for a long time and haven't seen a whole lot of use, beyond the time where they were actually put inside of that warehouse. These have clearly seen quite a bit of use from all the scarring and damage and whatnot that was done to the rifles themselves, so obviously they have seen some sort of use. This right here, this particular one, has a huge wear mark on the stock from where it was, moving around in a truck or on someone's back or horseback, or who knows what the story behind that one is. But there you guys go. This right here is my 3 rifles from RTI, and I'm very, very pleased with them. As far as the condition goes, with this one right here being a World War I model, that is actually not that bad of shape. I have seen way, way worse rifles from this time period. We do have a couple of dings in the stock, but I feel like the stock will actually clean up really, really nicely whenever I scrub all that dirt off of it. Bluing on the rifle, not that bad. The bluing on the rifle on this one right here, also not that bad, but the stock is pretty gosh darn worn out. I think out of all these, this one right here is the best shape. The bluing on the metal is actually pretty damn good. It looks like the bolt is supposed to be in the white, but it's just not. I imagine that if I clean that up some, it probably will be. Yeah, the bluing on the actual magazine well right there, probably not all that great either. That might just be cosmoline. I'll have to scrub that off and see for myself. The stock on this one, I like the stock on it. It looks like the bluing on the magazine well on this one is significantly better. Maybe I'll take the magazine well from this one and put it onto this one, because the bluing on the rifle on this one is definitely subpar. So, I don't know. I'll play around with that. I'll look at that. None of these are numbers matching or anything like that, so they're already rifles that have just kind of been thrown together. Looks like the 2 Gardone rifles, the little section right here where you would stick your cleaning rod, question mark, that right there is open and there's nothing in there. But in our Brescia rifle, we actually have a little slot right here that you're supposed to be able to get into to get your cleaning rod and whatnot, and there's nothing in there either. So okie dokie. Well, that's what we're dealing with. So there's just completely empty, but at least we have that little flap that, you could close onto your rifle. So here you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make other videos about me taking these out of the range and testing them. I want to go ahead and clean all the cosmoline out of the barrel so I don't get any, issues with overpressures or squib loads or anything like that. I don't think that I would, but these right here are pretty filled with cosmoline, and last thing I want is to pull the trigger, bulge a barrel. It's just not something that you want to do. So I'll see you guys on that next episode. once I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.